we get started, make sure you like this video, share it, definitely subscribe, and hit the little notification bell so you can come cook with me again. Let's get started. Okay, so remember mise en place, always get our ingredients together. So I have mushrooms here, a little pint container. I have a red onion, I have about 3 cloves of garlic, and then I have our meat. I have little, I don't know, beef cubes. I don't know the fancy term. I'm an everyday cook. Who knows? In a later episode, I will teach you all about how I like to cook meat, how I like to take it out, take the cool off of it. We'll discuss that later, but right now we will go ahead and prep our veggies to make this beef stroganoff. What's funny about beef stroganoff is I never knew you could buy the box version. I guess there's a box version that everybody loves, that you just add like milk or water and it all comes together. My mom has been making this since I can remember. It's one of her favorite recipes, so I never knew any way other than to make it from scratch. And it's so easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients. Takes about 20 minutes. Under $20. I literally went to the grocery store this morning and spent under $20 for this. So it's a good meal for like a family of 4 because it does feed a lot. While we're prepping our ingredients, I have a pot of salted boiling water for our noodles, and then I also have my stove on for, cooking, obviously. A pot with oil in it. So we will go ahead and chop our mushrooms. And you can buy these pre-sliced if you don't want to chop them. These were just on sale, so that's why I got them. Even better. So we're just kind of cutting these, and remember, like same sizes so they cook evenly. Hold your fingers back so you don't cut off any appendage. I don't know if that's a word. And remember, we're rocking our knife. When we're chopping, we're rocking like a boat. So continue to chop up these mushrooms. Yes, this is one of my mom's favorite recipes. For something so simple, it's so satisfying and good because you get the meatiness from obviously the beef, but then also the mushrooms too and the onion. So delicious. All right, so continue chopping those up. And this is actually going to last for lunch and dinner, so now I don't have to cook dinner, which is also so nice. Okay. Remember our bench scraper, my favorite tools. All right, so put this aside really quick. I'm actually going to turn this down just a tad. And then we actually don't need this whole onion, so we'll save it for later. And with this, you can do slices, you can dice this, so however you like your onions, you can do it however you want. Put that to the side. I'm actually going to dice this. And then remember, fingers. Remember, we're in no rush, so take your time when you're chopping. This is not a cooking show. We're not in a competition, so you don't have to chop as fast as anybody. Just do it however you want to. And then once I kind of get to the end of this onion, I like to just put it on its flat side and then continue to chop it that way. Yum. Ooh, that's a strong onion. I think I'm going to say that every time because it is strong. Very strong, very nice. All right. And then we'll chop up our garlic. Wow. There's like a little in there, so I'll just chop that off. Those need to go over there, go away. Woo! That's what happens when you're an everyday cook. You run into really strong onions. Wow. Blooper reel, okay. We have bloopers. All right. So with garlic, honestly, I just try and chop it up just a little bit. Remember, we have our microplane that you can use. But for this, my mom always had like chunky garlic, so I'm gonna make it the way she made it. And I hold my hands on the end of the knife to kind of control where my knife is going, along with holding the knife. I say that's pretty good. And of course, I forgot my little mini bowl. Okay. All right. And we're almost going to kind of cook this in one pan. So it's like a one pan, well, two pans because we're boiling the noodles, but everything's basically being cooked in the one pan. So it's kind of nice too, less dishes. And then when I got this meat, it's not really the same size. And again, I'm a big advocate of cooking everything in like same sizes so it cooks evenly. So we're going to figure out what is going on with our meat puzzle. And we're going to cut these down just a little bit. So I almost like these size chunks. So cut these in half. Okay, we're going places. We got it. So kind of want them, these are way too big. So it's nice that we're cutting these down. That can be cut in half. Okay. Yeah, when I was living with my best friends, I offered to make them beef stroganoff. And they were like, oh, where's the box? And I'm like, no, I'm making it from scratch. So it's kind of nice to, things you thought couldn't be made easily that you kind of grew up with are actually super simple. Okay. So we are going to brown this meat first. And so I don't mess up my James and Everyday Cook shirt. Let's get an apron on. Okay. Actually going to get the cook cam so you guys can see what I'm doing. We are browning the meat for beef stroganoff. Okay. So while that goes, I'm going to move this cutting board since it has meat on it. And I chopped the meat last because obviously we're chopping mushrooms and onions. I know it's all going to get cooked, but you always want to be mindful of that. All right, so we have our mushrooms, onion, garlic. I'm going to lightly salt and pepper this meat. Got our wooden spoon. So you just kind of want to get this browned. You don't want to overcook the meat. And they are doing construction next door. The perks of filming your own at-home kitchen cooking show, you get to hear some fun things. So if you hear slams or a sander, I've been hearing that all morning, so welcome to my audio adventure. So, hey Mags, what are you doing? Maggie is coming in here looking for food. She can't have any of this. Okay. So our beef is going to continue to cook just for a couple minutes, not even long, because remember we cut them up pretty small. They're not going to take very long at all. And I need a bowl for them. And then we have our noodles. So these are egg noodles. I thought they were whole wheat. They do sell whole wheat version, and that's what I wanted. But on top of our boiling water that we have to really punch up the beef flavor for the beef stroganoff, actually add some beef broth to the boiling liquid for the noodles. Just to kind of punch it up a little bit. cooking hack. Okay, won't charge you extra today. And we're gonna do about half a bag of noodles. Get that open. All right. I'm actually gonna take that off. Because it's going to this beef is going to continue to cook as it sits because it has a residual heat. So if some pieces aren't cooked all the way through, you are good to go. Okay. So we have our beef. I'm actually going to turn that back up. And now to the same pot that we have cooked our beef in, we're going to add the mushrooms and the onions. Ooh. Add a little salt and pepper. Just a little bit, because we're salting and peppering every layer of this dish, so just be mindful of how much salt and pepper you are actually adding. Don't want to salt bomb. All right. So cook cam. One of the fun ways of filming your own cooking show is the multiple angles you have to try and get. It's kind of interesting. All right, I'm actually going to turn this on medium, high heat. I really want those onions and mushrooms to get brown. Again, our water is to the side, getting ready for us when we're ready. I'm also going to add a little bit of butter. And by a little bit, I mean 2 or 3 tablespoons. And that is butter. Butter. Okay. And then we're not going to add the garlic until just a little bit later because we don't want it to burn. When garlic burns, it gets bitter, and that does not taste great. So we will add this in just a little bit. But the great thing about cooking these mushrooms and onions where we cook the beef, it actually gets all the little brown bits off the bottom of the pan, and that just adds more flavor to the dish. Yum! This is looking good. All right. Turn that up high. Let's go ahead and turn up our thing. Does anybody have one of their favorite childhood meals that they cook? I have a lot. I've been cooking for so long now. Got a lot of recipes. We're gonna have a lot of episodes on our channel. I'm so excited. I am very excited. Oh, and the last ingredient you need is sour cream. Yum. And really, you just need to mix this in a bowl and you're good to go. How many minutes for this? See, I don't know everything. Sometimes I have to double check what I'm doing. 9 to 11 minutes for the pasta, or the egg noodles, so good to know. Good to know the facts. All right, perfect timing. So it's going to take about 10 minutes for the pasta. This is going to take another 10 minutes. So while this is cooking, we are going to boil the pasta and we'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back making beef stroganoff. And our noodles are just about done. Our mushrooms and onions have been sauteing for the time it's taken the noodles to cook, for about 9-ish minutes. I did add the garlic just about a minute ago, of course, so it doesn't burn. And then I added just a splash of beef stock just to kind of deglaze the pan just a tad. So we're gonna finish up this dish. It's so quick and easy. All right. I'm going to drain our pasta. A tip I learned, always run cold water. while you're straining your pasta in the sink. It has to do with plumbing. I don't know. I learned it a long time ago. Did not think I was going to get a pasta facial today, but, you know, stranger things have happened. All right, and then we're going to turn off our mushrooms and onions. Oh, it looks so good. Looks delicious. I'm actually going to add our meat back into this mushroom mixture to kind of get those flavors reacquainted with each other. Since we have the beef stock, the mushrooms, the onions, the garlic. Ahead of my chime. Just kidding. All right. That looks so good. Like, so delicious. Okay. So now we're going to make the sauce for the beef stroganoff. So about a cup of, well, let's do a cup, 2 cups. Sour cream. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of beef stock just to kind of make it a little saucy. I'd say about 1/4 cup. These noodles are going to soak up a lot of this moisture as it sits, so I'll stir that up a little bit. You could whisk this. I don't want to dirty something else because I'm also the dish person, so the less dishes, the better. Alright. And this tangy sour cream is going to go so good with those mushrooms and the beef. Or we'll add a little salt and pepper. A little bit. Because remember, we seasoned the pasta, we seasoned the mushrooms, we seasoned the beef. So you don't want a salt bomb. And you know I love me some pepper, so I will add some of that. So good. Okay. So I know this pan is hot. So we will add in this. Okay. Mushroom facial. I can't even talk today. Okay. That looks so good. So kind of stir that around. How easy is this? Cook some mushrooms, cook some beef, boil some noodles, and you have a perfect dish. Alright, so we're going to add the pasta. Yum. This brings back so many childhood memories. Just the smell of this brings me back to my childhood. Again, this is one of my mom's favorite dishes, so it's special. Alright, so we'll go ahead and plate this up. Get a little plate. And I noticed that I never try anything when I cook, so I will actually try this time. So again, we're everyday cooks. It does not have to be perfect. We're not looking for perfection. But what I remember as the creme de resistance is she always used to put dried parsley on top. I don't know why, but it makes it look pretty. And there you have it. Beef stroganoff, one of my mom's favorite dishes. Enjoy. Thanks for coming to come cook with me. Oh yeah, I gotta try it. Yeah, gotta try it. Sorry, forgot. Squirrel. Okay. Let's try this. It never gets old. So good. That's beef stroganoff.